Right. Okay, everybody, it's 6 o'clock, and this is our first in-person meeting in 32 months. So we're happy to be here back, and it's great that you all came. February of 2020. So here we are. Would everybody please stand and join us for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we have our planner, Jim Levy, joining us tonight. Our attorney, Warren Raplansky, is unfortunately ill, so not joining us. Jim is here for the discussions about our workforce housing project with Carney Construction and short-term rentals discussion. Joni, is this yours? Would you like it?
So I can contact bookkeeping.
Yeah, whatever you need to do. And again, as I said, it's been 32 months. We're happy to be back. I'd like a motion to, one announcement is that today we broke ground on our artificial turf multi-use playing field. So field turf and Catella is hard at work, and Josh and I, who's not here, Josh is also not able to attend, will have an after kickoff meeting with Clark Field and our engineer, Kristen Piaggi. And we will have it done before snow, so that's great news.
That's great.
It is great. May I have a motion to approve our prior minutes of August 8, 2022?
So moved.
Thank you, Ellen. We're back. Thanks.
It's been
I think we're back, we're fine. I'm sorry, there was a question from the...
on a totally different subject.
Sure. Come on up. Okay. Hi.
I'm not that tall.
Oh, wow, do you need help getting that down?
So we'll see.
No, I think it's that grippy thing. Yeah.
Please.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
perfect.
Look at
No, you didn't need help. You did it.
that. Right.
Thank you. My name is Joanne Goodman. I live on Pond Drive West in the village.
Hi.
And, hi. And about 6 weeks ago, I sent a letter to this board asking about how we could go about getting bocce courts built in the park. I made a field trip with some of my bocce colleagues. I think we called ourselves the bocce brigade. And on our field trip, we happened to run into Mr. Fitzpatrick. And he said, "You look lost. You were lost. And what can I do for you?" So I told him why we were there and what we were looking for. And he said, "Oh, no problem, piece of cake." And we did look at a lot that was near the parking lot.
It's right
a
on the
graded-
hillock.
yes.
It's on the hillock just south of the pavilion for camp and west of the parking lot
If
and
you say so.
playground. Yeah.
I'm not that great on directions.
It's a mound that's drainage, and I don't
No,
know.
there were two mounds, actually. The drainage is one, and
Yeah.
then there's a slope down.
So the problem with that, I'm sorry, tell me your name again?
Joanne Goodman.
Thank you. That's what I wrote, but I wasn't sure. That's where the kids gather at camp in the mornings. So,
Well, if they gather on the top level, that's not what we're talking about.
yeah, on the bottom. I got your email, I know the rest of the board did. I think what we have to do is refer it to our park committee, and I think we might need to amend our site plan unless we don't, because this is really, is it really just like a 12-foot wooden frame with sand in it? I mean, a 12-inch.
The one that I play at, which is in Ulster County, is framed by basically railroad ties.
Right, right.
At each end is a little wall to stop the balls from going off into outer space. That's about, I'm gonna say 3 feet, but then gradually and all the way down the end, at most 12 inches. I don't even think it's 12 inches for the length. And as I said, there are dozens of plans and descriptions on the internet.
And you
how
have a
it can be done.
you have a bocce group?
We have a very large and growing bocce group, and at the moment, we've all been going to Kingston, and it's not that it's so far, but it's once a week, it's a toll, so
Yeah, I
on and
hear
so
you.
forth. And so many of us are from this side of the river that we would play more often. It's not too challenging, you don't have to be a great
Do you
athlete.
need shade or anything?
Well, where we looked at, and I actually met with Josh.
I don't think that's the spot for it because of camp, but I've got
Well,
to, yeah.
Shade is good, benches are great. It's very inviting, it's a game that can be played by anybody, including the kids.
Sounds like pickleball.
Oh, it's much less strenuous than pickleball.
What are the dimensions of the bocce court?
I have a feeling, and I'm not an expert, that it's fungible, because the ones in
I love
Kingston
that
are,
word, fungible.
that's the right word, right?
I love
I
it,
think
yeah.
that-
Good.
I think the ones in Kingston are 77 feet. No, 77 inches.
No.
Don't
Seven
they have,
feet.
excuse me, don't they have a couple at the Amsterdam, in fact?
I
I
think
don't-
they're for private use.
But that's regulation size, though.
I don't know what regulation size is, to tell
I don't
you the
either,
truth.
but-
I think you can play with it, and the ones in Ulster are 13, maybe.
How about this? How about if we get you together with our rec committee and we see where it could go that doesn't have any, yes, Nina?
86.52 feet long, 13.12 feet wide. That's the
That's-
official.
Thank you.
Well, Google says 91 by 13.
That's what I meant by fungible. It's exactly the point, and I
But
think the
Google
ones
told me what I just said.
in Ulster are 77.
Okay,
Something like
so
that, but-
86
So
to
this is-
77 to 75,
Or something, and then, the surface can be a lot of different things.
sand.
It can be sand, it can
Grass.
be dirt, it can be gravel, and I actually...
Gravel?
Well, small gravel. I went there with Josh.
Yes, I know, but
No, I understand that. He was not aware of the camp situation, because I was in love that space. It was great, because it is shady, and the kids, you say they gather there in the morning?
I believe so.
Well, and then they go and do their activities?
Some of which are right there.
Some of which are on
Okay.
that field. It's right now, yeah. It's just, it would be great to say yes, no problem. We have to let everyone weigh in. And
Okay, so what do I do next?
you're going to talk to Joan and give her your email and phone number, and we'll make an introduction to our rec committee, and we'll see if we can't, park and rec committee, and see if we can't find some funding.
Great.
Yeah, the park
Josh.
committee deals with modifications to the park, improvements, and the rec committee deals with activities. So, once you get the bocce court, you go to the rec committee to schedule.
You'll just show up and use it whenever you want to, how's that?
Well, that's the idea, is,
Well, you gotta have it
it's
be
such an
organized.
easy thing. People carry their little equipment, the balls, and takes 4 balls for each team, and you throw them, and you're done, and you walk to the other end. And the seniors, of which I'm one, say this is the best exercise, and more exercise than I'm gonna get normally, because I'm walking up and back on the court. So it's a,
Great, we're okay.
Good.
Thanks for coming.
thank you.
Sure, and see Joan. Anybody else? How do you guys feel about a bocce court?
Yes.
I think it's a great idea.
That's Italian, yes.
I'll play it out.
All right, everybody, thanks for coming. Oh, Anil wants something.
Yeah, I do. At the meeting where you were in July, I said, I don't want to be a critic. But, and a year ago at, just a little short speech, all right? A year ago at the Repair Cafe, we've spoken before, there were agreements, there were problems, but I placed my confidence in you willingly. Rhinebeck raises us. And over the past year, so much revenue has come to town, but I think a lot of the values that we share in this town that made us superb are diminished and are not being reinforced. And I think that's, and I think you're a powerhouse. You had this all planned out. You gave us 36 pages on Friday to deal with today, and now we realize that this happened 3 and 4 years ago.
It should have been realized, we have a public meeting. All of this was done at public meetings. This is no surprise. I was surprised to find out that the village was telling people to come to our meeting to support or to let us know that we should rezone the land for workforce housing, when in fact we did it 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So we do all of our work at public meetings, and it is public record.
Okay, all right. Well,
Are you talking about workforce housing?
no, I wasn't at the moment.
36 pages for what?
Well, that is, yeah, the 36 pages, his rebuttal was 36 pages. I attended the planning board meeting, and I was about the only guy from the public. There were a few other, there's a woman whose name I can't remember, like with such a P. Holgar or something.
Eleanor Pupko.
That's right, she was there. And apart from that, no one. And it was not mentioned there that any previous decisions for workforce housing and so forth and so on. But I don't want to rehash things that are already
I just have to reiterate that everything we do is public record. We passed our workforce housing law in 2018. So, I mean, it's all done in public, Anil.
Yeah, all right, well, being a resident here, if it's gonna be a full-time job and otherwise the rug comes out, that's just.
What rug? Are you talking about workforce housing?
Well, yeah, I am. Well, no, the first iteration was Astor Gardens. And that was all had been decided in 1985.
What do you mean Astor Gardens?
Rhinebeck Gardens now called.
The gardens?
The gardens at Rhinebeck, right. That was all decided in 1985 when we came to it in 2003 or something. And then we always tried. And, well, they call it traditional neighborhood development. There's nothing neighborhood about it in there. They don't know their neighbors.
Wait, it's not a TND, it's a condo association.
Okay. Well,
A TND has shops and different types of housing, single-family residence.
Excuse me, but I don't want to be boring or go too far. I hope to stay within my, that was the basis for the initial application in Astor Flats, they initially called it. And being as a TND within the overall plan, as far as I understood it, which may not be what a professional understands. It's making my best effort in this town and trying to be contributing. Because like when you talk about here on this one, about Astor Drive, Barb used to drive up Astor Drive every morning to get to St. Chris. And that is a road that is used in so many difficult sites, difficult things, and increasing traffic there is a difficulty. The addition of density, further density, is not particularly something that anyone I know wants to see happen in the town. I mean, making the town, and walkability, what's that mean? I mean, the people who are in the workforce housing, where do they work? With a car to go somewhere.
I'm having trouble.
There's so many. Go ahead, I'm sorry to interrupt you, go ahead.
What, Ellen?
Yeah, the parking, people there will not have cars. They typically don't.
Really?
Yes.
Repeat that, would
Well,
you?
he said people there
I
at the
don't know
80 unit
that we
housing
can
will not have cars. They
substantiate that.
typically
I
don't.
don't-
That's what the consultant said the other day.
I hardly believe that. I mean, at
Are
Wells
you
Fargo,
against workforce housing or concerned about it? I
I'm
don't,
against further density on that site. Yes, I am.
we passed this law 4
I
years
understand
ago.
that. It was never done. I mean, I missed that. And I think
I
a lot of
mean,
people missed that.
We have had a workforce housing committee working on this for 10 years. We have been talking about it publicly. I've been on the board, this is my 11th year, certainly since I've been on the board. The fact that it's on this site is done. I mean, I don't know how to address that anymore.
Right.
Well, what about the trees?
Well, trees are gonna come down for houses.
Yeah, that's it, the trees are gonna come down,
Yes.
and we are tree city. Oh,
You have to take trees down to build
yes, I know,
housing.
but we're called
Sorry, what
tree
is your-
A
city.
certain percentage
With all
of
the
trees
trees
will
that
come
are cut down?
down, not every tree.
Come on, this is Rhinebeck. We're ruining
Are you
it.
saying that we shouldn't take down trees to build affordable housing?
We should relocate it or
Where-
do something.
why?
I don't know, because we need these trees.
Well, other trees will be
Run down
planted.
Rhine Cliff Road and look at how beautiful it is with all the trees.
The
That's,
fact is that there are almost no locations in Rhinebeck for a suitable workforce housing project, except the two that we've identified.
maybe one more.
Which were the gateways?
Yeah.
Which was the other gateway? that
It's the
Gateway
northern,
North, right near,
that's it.
Where is Gateway North?
by Tops.
That's what I thought. That was the site that I thought.
We've already done that. A developer doesn't
That's
want to do it there. This land is available and we have a developer who's bought the land who's doing it.
Well, I
We
gotta
can't
tell you-
just plop a development down on someone's private property.
No, the way I see that, wait, you don't, what was your last?
Under the statute we adopted in 2018, we have two possible sites.
Yes, I understand
And
that.
we haven't found another suitable place, or there would be 3 or 4.
Right.
So it's those two. Now, having passed the necessary legislation, we have to wait for a developer to come to town and say, you know, I'd like to do workforce housing on that site. This developer has said they want to do this workforce housing project on the project on Rhine Cliff Road. We can't very well say to them, no, we don't like that one, but you go do it.
Well, this member of the town would say this to you. That developer prefers that site because it has more of the amenities we pay full price for. Out by Tops, it is not so glamorous a location. It does not bring as much money to the developer, but it is better for us. We keep more value we have in terms of space, lack of congested roads, lack of traffic past our house, and that is the value to us that you are taking from us and giving to the
Let's hope
developer.
on that.
That is my protest, exactly.
Let's hope another developer comes along to do the one out on Route 9, but nobody is around to do that.
Well, why not start there? What you are doing,
Give Mr. Carney a call and tell him you'd like him to change his mind. If you
We're
want to
not
waste your
doing
time.
this. A private developer is doing this.
Yeah.
no, but you are representing us. But,
See,
Elizabeth,
we disagree with you. We believe we need workforce housing. Do you live in the vicinity of this
I was in
development?
UAW in 1970, okay? I grew up in the Ford Motor Company. I wrote my thesis on Eisenhower, working midnight shift at the Michigan Casting Center in Flat Rock. I came to work for Alan Green's
I
family.
have to ask you to stay, I'm very confused. You're voicing concern that you do not want this housing development going where it's going. Is that
That's
correct?
correct.
Correct.
That's
It's-
correct.
We enacted the law 4 years ago.
You've said that 5 times, and I got you the first time.
I don't know what to say. It's happening here. These people own the
How
land.
many people in Rhinebeck do you think know that you enacted this 5 years ago? That's not your problem.
I'm just flabbergasted.
It's up, well,
I'm
no.
Well, the
flabbergasted.
planning board knows, and the workforce housing committee
You
knows.
seem to be
course.
insinuating that we've done this
newspapers
secretly. There have been numerous newspaper articles, there have been numerous public hearings. It's on our website.
Elizabeth, how many other people are here tonight? I mean, I try to pay attention the best I can. I have other jobs to do. But when you release 36 pages on Friday night.
That's what we do.
from
We
August,
release our documents on Friday for the meeting before.
Because all of it was already decided again. All right, well, let's talk
Not
about.
decided, this has been in process. We've been working on this for 3 or 4 years.
I really never knew about it until, I really never knew about it until this summer. I'm not trying to blame anybody.
Nina, are you on our Workforce Housing Committee? Do you have any response to this?
I would only say what you said. There were people here the night that we finally got it passed who had some objections. That was all discussed. They finally were helped to understand that it was putting the law together, not actually setting it up. There were people here, it was in the paper, hours and hours and hours had
And
been
meetings and
spent.
meetings and meetings.
Meetings and meetings and meetings, all of them public.
Well,
On the motion to adjourn?
well, no, one last thing then, if you don't mind. This is short, 3 minutes, not long. We were talking about the trail pavilion. The need was, let's just examine your process, okay? The need was to provide restrooms and snack bar and water for the users of the park. So you had a trail pavilion, and you decided to give it to the son of Ms. Mazzarella and Dr. Thompson. Okay, fine.
Let's clarify that. The architect on the project
Was the son.
was Frank Mazzarella.
And he did it for free.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Why didn't he talk to anybody in the place? Here's my point. The people who need it to be closest to them are the mothers and the parents and the little kids who use the park. It is as far as it can possibly be from them. Then, and successively, the basketball court, the tennis court, and the ball field. Let's just choose an alternative that someone who is concerned about having something that included all of us might have considered, which would be right across from, just let me try, 90 seconds, all right? At the joining of the little kids park and the basketball court, across the gravel driveway, you place a classic white clapboard beveled siding, rectangular building with a four-sided traditional green roof, white, in the front, your snack bar window with enough overhang to shield the snack bar window in the front, and the two bathroom doors on the right-hand side in dusty violet. And then around there, you put a deck so that and tables on that deck so that it faces west, where people use it in the afternoon, and mothers can say, "I see your baby in the kids' park." The kids can laugh at their friends in the basketball court. They can do their TikTok videos on the deck. They can do their homework on the
Are you
deck.
advocating for another?
No, I'm saying what that was somebody who spoke to nobody who uses the park.
Not true. There was a
There was
committee.
development of a
the
master park
committee
plan.
met for years on that. And there was a comprehensive plan that had that on the map since 2009. So I don't know what
We
you're gonna-
inherited this master plan. It was approved 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah, but now nobody goes there. It's in the shade. The place is like a dungeon. It's got gravel. You stand on gravel. There's no place to gather. Everybody who came to New York in phase 3, they bring all their New York aggression, and that's what's starting to rule this town. The town is changing because
Every place changes all the time. Change is the only constant.
no, this is a rationalization, and that's not what we hire you to lead us.
Look,
That's not what we hire you to lead us to be.
if you want to have a say, get on one of the committees.
I'm going to.
Okay,
We
good.
need help. We're dying for volunteers. I mean, this stuff has been enacted and law and policy for years. And I hear
We
people
always
say
come back.
all the time, we're not here to keep things the same. We're here to manage our resources and give people what they need in a current time. Life changes. New York City isn't what New York City was 30 years ago. I can't return to my hometown. I can't afford it there anymore. Things change. That's beyond our control as a local town government.
Let me ask you this question. If we have, it was deceiving to have this be, what, in their document, they named their, Carney's partner as housing development something, something. And then you learn that it's New York City housing development something, something. And well, that's because all of one of the things we have in Rhinebeck, most valuable to me, is trust. I feel safe, I feel secure here in Rhinebeck. And we are opening the door to becoming, without a code, without trust. And that's a problem. That's a big problem. I think everything, as you invite subsidies and so
It is
forth.
not a subsidized housing. This is workforce housing.
Yeah.
It is not affordable housing, it is workforce housing.
Well,
It is not,
that's
it
the
is
reason
not,
I accept that.
it is not vouchered housing. This is for people who live here and work here. This is for seniors who want to sell their house and move into a rental. This is for kids who've grown up here, who need an apartment to start out. This is for a mother getting divorced who needs a place to live with her 3 kids. That's what this is.
From what I heard saw on their website, all they do is, all they feature on their website is subsidized.
Carney Construction?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, look at Carney Construction, because we have enacted a workforce housing law. I appreciate your questions. I feel, I don't know, a little flabbergasted that 4 years later, we're talking about this.
Well, let's talk about something else, which is that.
I think I'd like to make a
Yeah, we're
motion.
gonna need another.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
We're gonna have a motion
The
to,
experience I've taken away is everything is beyond my control.
Why don't you write a letter?
why don't, no,
Because
wait,
I have several drafts of letters.
Well, okay, I haven't seen one though.
I mean, I appreciate you coming and speaking out, but you're accusing us
No,
for doing a good job and
no.
doing business in public. This has been decided, and it's gonna
You say
happen
you're
if
doing
we're
business in
lucky.
public, but if you survey the town, I don't think Rhinebeck.
That is not my responsibility.
Those are two different things. You're representing the town.
I am here to represent the town. I'm the chief financial officer, and I am happy to answer any question or concern. But people have to show up and take responsibility. We have a senior van. We need volunteers to drive. Would you like to volunteer? We need people to become involved. This is your town and your government.
That's why I'm here.
Sign up. We need help. Thank you for coming. Motion to adjourn?
Yes.
All in favor? Aye. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Did you get your second? No. I did one, yes, I did, thank you.